Hey, you guys. Welcome back to Level Up with Lori, the podcast. For those of you that are watching this on YouTube or video, anywhere that you can find this video, I'm having a bit of a messy, crazy hair day. For those of you that are listening on the actual podcast, thank your lucky stars because I'm looking like a hot mess over there, but I am going to follow my own words of advice, my own mantra, and just preach it to the choir, my friends. Done is better than perfect. I had this idea for this podcast episode last night. I was having kind of coaching conversations with my team, sitting at the arena. I think maybe it's something to do with the cold air, but it gets my brain, or maybe it's just the peace and the quiet of sitting there and the therapeutic nature of watching hockey. My brain was just and it was a practice. So it wasn't like I was intensely standing up and screaming. And yes, I am that mom, cheering for the kids. So anyways, I wanted to record and I wanted to share some notes about taking care of your customers. And here's what I want you to know. For the majority of my network marketing career, I haven't had a consumable product, right? I started out in jewelry and fashion. And so a follow-up system was always part of my strategy, but wasn't a huge focus for me, if I'm being honest, because every single month it was really starting back at zero. And so I really focused heavily on building relationships through my VIP group and a little bit less on the follow-up it takes for that reorder to take place, because you don't order a necklace on repeat, right? However, as I transition into a business model that has that repeat nature, I have never been so acutely aware of just how important it is to take incredible care of your customers. And here's the thing, it's always been important to me. It's always been top of my list. I just did it in a bit of a different way. I did it before by maintaining relationships. And that's absolutely still part of my kind of strategy. But I need to do more now, right? Because it's not just about starting every month at zero. I start every month with a really powerful kind of base, but it's my job to maintain that base. It's my job to do the legwork to make sure that base stays strong, that foundation is solid. And I'm going to give you some tips and tricks on how to do that and what I've been doing to do that. And so, number one, let's not forget about that consistent content on social media. Okay. This is your VIP group. This is your Instagram. This is your personal profile. A lot of us are friends on social media and have followers that are also a part of our customer base. And you showing up all of the places actually really does establish a reminder of your existence, right? And you participating on their personal profile, really genuinely and authentically, you creating really good content inside your VIP group. Every single time they connect with you, they're reminded of you. They're reminded of the products that you sell. They're reminded of the things that they love. And you build that know, like, and trust and that loyalty factor with him. So never negate that foundational element of consistent contact. Consistent contact and consistent content. There's a new little phrase that I should probably coin. But I really do believe that that's a foundational element of building relationships with customers and being top of mind when you are selling online. Number two, what I think I've been really muddling around in my brain is a loyalty program. Now, in my last company, we had a little bit of a loyalty program, so I never really expanded on it. But this has been something that I've really been challenging myself to think outside of the box on and ask myself, how can I go one step further to really reward my customers for choosing me? Always remember that every order that they place with you is a choice that they're making to support you. They can shop with someone else. They can shop just on the general website. They don't need to choose you. So a loyalty program and that personal service and being a personal shopper, to me, could really establish that, to take that loyalty one step further and assure those repeat orders. And, just if you don't have a consumable, don't discount the loyalty program. Ask yourself still, what could I do? Back in like my, there's a couple years in my Stella and Dot business where I actually ran a capsule wardrobe program. When we were big into clothes, I would actually help people curate their closets by having a monthly program where they spent a certain number of dollars and they got a certain number of rewards. Obviously, I was kind of like playing around with our hostess rewards program, playing around a little bit with my commission, getting creative in those elements. But that was like my own way of establishing a loyalty program. So it maybe isn't a card that you're punching. Maybe you get a little bit more creative with this. Some people would call this like what did we used to call it? Something about a hostess program. And honestly, I always just like to jazz it up a little bit, brand it my own thing. And yes, it is that behind the scenes, but I think it's fun, right? So that's what I used to do in Stella and Dot. And I've been cooking up some things behind the scenes for Turnot to reward those repeat purchases. And to really, like, to me, that loyalty program is also my opportunity to say thank you, right? To say thank you for choosing me, remembering that that's always a choice. Okay, number 2, making sure that you have strong follow-up systems. And I've done like tons of different trainings in the past. I've likely even done a podcast episode on creating your follow-up systems. If you're inside the academy, you will find this in Unit 2, the foundational systems, where I literally have templates for you, trainings for you, all the like jazzy things. And if you're not in the academy yet, get yourself in there. It's growing and expanding, and it's just an amazing resource to, like, there's my little plug for the academy, but honestly, I couldn't believe in it more. You want to have a follow-up system that does not overwhelm you. That's my biggest tip, right? Make sure that your follow-up system is so simple that you can actually stick with it. Whether it's a list on your phone, whether it's an Excel document on your computer, whether it is a fancy dancy like little customer management system that sends you reminders, whatever it is, it has to be so simple that you are going to actually use it. At one point in my career, my follow-up system was simply like, when it was a party follow-up system, I knew I wanted to follow up with every customer that had ordered 2 weeks from the day from the party. So if the party was on a Monday night, I would put a little bit of a note in my day planner, which is just paper and pen, and still is paper and pen to this day, of the party name. And then I would go back into like the back end on my computer, look at all the people and send them a quick little message, because I could look at their orders and also see what they ordered too, and maybe give them a couple little tips and tricks. It doesn't have to be more complicated than that. Now I use, because I have customers that are subscription-based customers and order every 30 days, I actually have a spreadsheet that is organized by the day of the month, so that I know who is ordering on what day. And I can like just quickly scroll through that list and see who I need to follow up with, who I've been chatting with, all those things. And it doesn't, I think sometimes we psych ourselves out with thinking that these need to be really advanced systems, thinking that someone has some kind of secret for the follow-up that we don't have. And the only secret is that you got to do it, right? The only secret is that you've got to set aside the time to do it. And it can't be something that happens in the cracks typically. Like, it's just too much work to happen in the cracks, and there's too much intention that needs to be done behind it. So give yourself an alliteration and go with follow-up Fridays, and every Friday figure out 10 people that you want to follow up with, and like, Bob's your uncle. Okay, so the last one, like, really, I would say another tip, because honestly, I don't want to overcomplicate this customer relationship management thing any more than it is. But one thing, a little tip that I'll give you, if you have not discovered Project Broadcast is a way that you can actually put your follow-ups into a system that will do it for you. I've been experimenting with this both with my team and with my customers, and I'm loving it. And again, if you're in the academy, if you look through the expert training section, you will find a full training on Project Broadcast and the strategies and my ideas and how you can use it in your business and all that good stuff. But if not, what you need to know is it's a texting system. You can literally set up a texting thread that will go out based on like hours, and you can kind of streamline it. So for instance, let's say the very first message is like, thank you so much for your order, blah, 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 blah. And then maybe it's 2 weeks later or 1 week later and says like, hey, I just wanted to check in, make sure that you have your order, and make sure that everything's good. That is done for you, right? All you need to do is come up with the sequence. And leaders in the house, you can actually take this sequence, and as long as your team has Project Broadcast, you can share this is what they call a campaign, this with your team. Right? Huge. So amazing. If you have a product that has a warranty, you could set it up so that, let's say the warranty is a 1-year warranty. You could set it up so that you send out a message at month 11 that says, hey, I just wanted to check in. Your warranty is about to expire. Let me know if everything is good. Done. Whatever, like truthfully, I think that whenever we can create a system, we create simplicity in our businesses and in our lives. Whatever we can kind of make run behind the scenes easier. So I am figuring out how I can make that even more streamlined in my business, but that's where I'm starting. And then the last piece is really just maintaining those relationships with your customers. The relationships are the foundation of our businesses, honest and truly. And that's like taking the time to have conversations with them behind the scenes. That's taking the time to wish them happy birthday on their birthdays. That's taking the time to, I don't know, send a Christmas card or send a little note or comment on their personal like posts or whatever that looks like to you, right? Like, and I'm, it sounds strategic when I say it, but when you come from a really genuine place, these relationships will be easy. These relationships will be fun. These relationships will add value to your life, right? Okay, you guys, that is it. I just wanted to come in here and ramble on customer stuff and always remind you that it is more work to go out there and acquire new customers than it is to take really good care of the customers that you have right now. And like a customer that's already shopped with you is 9 times, and again, I'm making up that stat, but 9 times more likely to shop with you again. And I'm totally making up that statistic. It's actually likely probably higher than that, but it's easier to get a second order than it is to get a first order most of the time. So take really good care of the customers that you have, on top of going out there and finding new customers. Build your systems now. And if you're a leader, and even if you're a leader of 1 or 101, share what you're doing with your teams and make sure that they're doing the same thing too. Okay. All right, you guys, over and out. I will see you inside the next episode. If you're binging your way through, I'll see you in a couple seconds. And if not, I will see you in another week. All right. Have a great day.